All right, sorry about that, guys. It was a little bit of delay there. I just got off an interview with a client from Ola Prime. So let me just get the screen up, everything. I know we're 3 minutes late, but hope everyone is doing well. Let me just get that screen up. Boom. Okay, we're live. Awesome. Who's in the chat? Let's have a look. Holy Earth, good to see you, my friend. Good morning to you. Cody, good morning. Nils, good morning, or good afternoon even. Let's just turn this heater off. I'm still in my Ola Prime gear. All right. Let's have a look at this market. What are we doing? Peter, how are you, my friend? Better not to trade the first 3 minutes. Exactly. Shubham, is it Shubham? Shubham, good to see you, my friend. How are you? All right, so the open, let's look at the open candle. All right, we rejected off that little gap there, shot up very quickly. We're in another gap. This is a very bullish market today. I've just had a quick look. Look at this push up we've had. Wow. Crazy, man. If any Victor, good morning to you, my friend. How are you? Coach Z, good morning. Hearty, good morning as well. How is everyone doing? All right, let's do another good trading day. Let's have another good trading day. We're creating loads of gaps, but I think there's not much above us, to be honest. I'm just going to have a quick look, make sure my levels are correct. So we are currently in a gap. We also got a point of control just a bit higher up, so I'm going to mark that out. I am looking at potentially shorting here. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. In terms of the volume, let's see what's coming in. I'm going to bump this up to 8 clusters. I mean, 8 ticks per cluster. Probably see a little bit more. What we actually seeing, there's still a lot of these buyers on, this open. They were very strong, to be fair. I want to see them kind of take profit or get squeezed out in the market, one or the other, right? So where are they going to be taking profit, these buyers who came in on the open? Let's have a look. Where would make sense? I mean, these highs here would make the first sense, right? So I think they could push it up to those highs potentially. If we see some profit taking, then we could get a pullback and we could short it. I think that's my kind of my reasoning here. Shubham, I see you. Good evening. Good evening to you. Good morning, SP Ticker. How are you? I saw your email. It was really late and I haven't yet replied, but I will reply to your email. You have NQ on your MT5. Is it working again? Oh, yeah, no, sorry, it's not working. I just don't know why I switched it, but there we go. We're back to S&P. Well spotted, Nils. Eric, great to see you. Coach, over 3K, and I just passed another 25K Ola. That's 2 live. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Congratulations, Eric. You're always smashing it. Let's see. All right, let's identify who's got real money in the market. I'm just going to pop up my pen tool, Epic Pen, so I can draw out some stuff and makes it a little bit easier. This is an area I'm interested in shorting, but I don't want to short it just yet. I'm seeing sellers are struggling, truth be told. So they might push it down a bit, but we'll see. We'll see. So we came in on the open, lots of buy pressures, sellers stuck at the bottom. They're obviously out the market. Big buyers came in, lots more big buyers, and now buyers were kind of trading. These buyers are going to be a little bit on edge. These guys, we might actually squeeze them out, to be fair. This might not be potentially a bad short, but we are in a gap. So really, do I want to be shorting in a gap? I don't know. Let me get I think 4 ticks might be a bit better. See a little bit more on the live order flow coming in. That is a lot of volume, but I can imagine these buyers are going to defend quite aggressively and push this market up. We want to see we really either want to see these buyers get out the market, or, you know, sorry, just unlock my phone there, put it on charge. Cool. All right, we're good. Yeah, we want to squeeze out these buyers. Essentially, they're gonna most likely still kind of defend, and I think their take profits are going to be higher up at these highs. That's going to make more sense to me, in terms of where they're probably looking to get out the market. That gap has now been well and truly filled. It's pushed down a bit, so the gap has become here. So we could go a little bit lower, to be fair. The volume profile is all moving about. I'm just going to get rid of this as we're creating those new highs. Yeah, this is really the area where, I mean, look, because people came in heavy at the open and we were pretty much at these highs at the open. They came in heavy. I think they're going to, if we squeeze them out, I think they're happy to get the hell out. Then probably they realize they're probably not, buying near the tops is not going to be as safe. So they might get squeezed out quite easily, to be fair. Ange, good to see you, my friend. How are you? But we'll see. We'll see. They haven't been squeezed out at all yet. They're still coming in. We know these are fresh buyers now. These guys here are all fresh. These are the new people we want to get below. If we get below them, we've got a short here. If we can squeeze these guys out, they're the ones who are going to be vulnerable right now. But it looks like it's too early to tell. Bit too early to tell. Look at them coming in quite strong. Now you see that they might get squeezed out here. They might get squeezed out. It looks like they're holding it. They're defending quite well. It really depends what happens here, whether we go up or down. This is going to be quite an interesting part. Raev, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, absolutely. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all my Irish friends out there. Anyone from Ireland or Irish heritage or anything like that? Oh, they might be getting squeezed out here. I might go one contract in. I can have let's get rid of trade history. I never liked the little thing. Let's see if we can squeeze them out. If we can, this is where we expect them to start dropping out if we get below. We haven't yet really got below, so we haven't truly squeezed them out yet, but we might do. Look, they're coming in again, trying to defend. So I've got my finger on exit just in case they again, these people are vulnerable now, these buyers, right? Same with these guys. We know they're fresh buyers. They're vulnerable. We want to kind of get below them. If we can get below them, we've got to move down. So I've jumped in already preemptively, hoping we squeeze these buyers out the market. Look, they're coming in quite heavy. They might actually push us up, to be fair. I don't think they're ready to give up just yet. But we'll give them a few seconds. Sellers might try to take advantage of them, but that's a lot of volume from those buyers. I think they're ready. My stop is a little bit tight because of the spread. I'm going to just put it up a little bit, but nah, I'm going to get stopped out, I think. Unless sellers... But again, all these guys are going to be fresh buyers, right? If we get below these people, we've got to trade. I can add another position if we get below, but I don't think it's going to happen. They almost got squeezed out. Definitely some people got out at break even. These peaks in the sell numbers were definitely some people who probably entered around here getting out at break even. These are fresh sellers, so these people need to be effective. If they're effective, that's a good sign for us, right? These are fresh new sellers trying to squeeze all these buyers out the market. Just about held it. Let's see if they can get below. Squeeze, baby, squeeze. Rav. Okay, easy. I'll say Rav. Well done, Eric Lake. Welch's VP. Welches? Oh, welche, I was reading it as English. Welches volume profile benutzt du für die low volume node in 15 minutes? So which volume profile do I use? I use the the fixed range volume profile. You can usually find it on the side of the toolbar. There it is, under long, short position, all that kind of area. You got fixed range volume profile. If you star it, it becomes in your toolbar here. It's a lot easier just to grab. But this is still ongoing, this battle here. I am hoping these sellers, we don't want to squeeze, but the same thing happens to these sellers, right? If we get above the sellers, they're going to get squeezed out, right? So it's just right now, sellers are trying to squeeze out these buyers. These buyers are trying to squeeze out these sellers. Everyone's trying to squeeze each other. Everyone is squeezing. Let's just put it that way. But that is a good amount of sell pressure coming in. Let's see if they can remain. If these sellers can stick here. We want to see those sellers take out some of that buy pressure. And it will be a good little pullback. I'm not saying it's going to be a bearish market, but we could definitely see, a pullback potentially back down to these kind of areas before a continuation occurs again. If buyers want to come back in. All right, we're getting back down to these lows. These buyers are going to start getting a bit panicky. We want to see what they're doing. Are they defending? They're definitely trying to defend, or are they getting out? Are they admitting defeat and getting out at break even, or getting stopped out, or are they trying to defend? You can see them trying to defend, right? That volume spiked to negative 200, and then it went back up into, close to the positives. You can see the buyers coming back in, trying to defend it, right? And look, they're still willing to defend. They're not willing to give up yet, the buyers. But we want to see that same energy happen from the sell side, right? We want to see these sellers who came in defend here. Try, push these, keep these buyers at bay. You see the buy numbers are still coming in quite heavy. Buyers are definitely, by the looks of it, more aggressive than the sellers at this moment in time. I think the buyers might actually pop up and probably go to their take profit, and then we'll have a good move down, I think. Because we need to get those buyers out the market, essentially. And we're trying to squeeze them out, but it doesn't look like it's actually happening. Sellers are not really coming. Oh, they are. I just said that, but nah, they've been squeezed out, the sellers. So the sellers have been squeezed. Let's wait until we get to now the take profit area. So the highs, for anyone who missed what that black line is, that is, if I just scroll over, that's basically the last kind of major high, if you put it that way, right? Where naturally you're going to expect some kind of profit taking to occur. So when we get there, we want to see buyers. Let me just get them up. We want to see buy numbers spike up right here. Okay. When we get to that kind of area, in and around that area, we want to see big buy numbers kind of appear on the footprint. That tells us take profits were hit. If take profits are hit, good. Then we want to wait for the next kind of, there's always going to be maybe a slight kind of pullback. Obviously, naturally, as buyers get out the market. Then you want to see fresh buyers try and come in, fail, and then we can squeeze those fresh buyers out the market, and then you get a proper retracement. Does that make sense? That is kind of what we're looking for. Oilers dropped. Good afternoon, Manu. Oilers dropped from 105 to 101, given the upward pressure to ES. Interesting. Morning, all. AJ, good to see you. Best of success to all. Hello, dear people. Daniel, good to see you. Just took payout and got my 200 plus on the 68. Shout out to you. So, Stephen, of course, I just did an interview with you. So the reason I'm still in the Ola Prime gear is because I did an interview. Steven, the trader, he's a trader with Ola Prime. We just did a live payout interview with him just before the live stream. So great to see you, Steven. We will look for a short up there, potentially, Manu, but like potentially a short, right? But only if the conditions are correct. This is, this was a high. If buyers exit the market here and take a lot of profit, right? Doesn't mean we were short there, but like I said, we want to see then there will naturally be a bit of a pullback. Then we want to see new buyers come in, all right, to try and continue the move. We're just looking for people to get trapped. That's all we're looking for, right? We want to see new buyers come in to try continue that move up, them to fail, these buyers to, fail pushing it up, and then sellers to come in below the buyers, right? So I'll put an S here. And those buyers basically all drop out, get squeezed out. Then you get that sudden move down, right? So just as what we saw here, right? Except in this case, the sellers didn't quite manage to squeeze out those buyers, right? So we had a bunch of buyers on the open, then it started going sideways a bit. And we know that all the big numbers you're seeing within, below basically the last highs, these are all real buyers coming in, fresh new buyers entering aggressively, trying to get the market up, and also sellers coming in, right? So it was a real battle between buyers and sellers here, and they're both trying to squeeze each other out. But in this case, the buyers, they didn't drop their position, they never got squeezed. But hypothetically, if we got below, let me just zoom out a bit here so you can see the whole thing, and pen tool. If we got below, most of these buyers, their stops were probably around here somewhere, right? A lot of the people that entered here, they're going to have stop losses around here. If we got there and triggered their stops, you're going to get a sudden move down. Does that make sense? So I entered one in anticipation that we might have that happen, right? I had my stop at the top here, but unfortunately the buyers are the ones who took control, right? We have yet to get to their take profit. Sellers are still trying to potentially get these buyers out the market, but we're going to wait until we get to that take profit level. Hello, Crypto 46. Hello to you. We are starting to get that overextended first 30-minute period. There's definitely going to be some kind of a decent correction because we've had such a move up. I think there's definitely going to be a decent correction at some point. I mean, these highs here were obviously naturally going to be a lot of take profits, but this was all pre-market, right? This is the first major high. Where is it? I'm trying to zoom out. Come on, there it is. We also got, the point of control. I think there's going to be a lot of take profits there as well. And then, we've got so many areas people are potentially targeting, right? All this kind of area. These are all areas where you expect, but any short-term scalper, let's put it that way, they're probably going to be targeting that high there, right? So I can imagine there's a lot of take profits sitting at, what's the price? 811. 811. So we'll wait for those. We'll wait for the market to get there. And if it gets there. Oh, where's Peter? I was going to say something. Good morning, Bill Hancock. How are you? In time price opportunity terms, the A period of the RTH session. Very good, very good. For context, we are currently trading around previous week's value area high. We have been trading within previous week's value area. Interesting, good stuff. Peter, yeah, I was going to say, so for everyone who's following the whole hammer foot candle thing, I went to ChatGPT last night and I asked it to build it. and it did build an indicator, but it's got so many different settings. I need to actually get the settings all right. I think I'm using 4 ticks per row. And look, it's highlighting potentially all the hammer foots that are appearing, but it's a little bit off. I think I need to, I mean, like, it's identified that as a hammer foot, which kind of, I mean, I guess it is in a weird way. There again, that again, I wouldn't really call. So you have to kind of be a bit more like, I need to tweak it and still figure it out, but it's kind of working. Literally, first time I just explained what I wanted it to do, but it gave me all these other settings which I never asked for. So I need to figure out what all these settings do. And then maybe we can build it so it becomes like an EA and can automatically do you know what I mean? It can automatically enter you and do all the risk management and stuff. Because the idea of our hammerfoot strategy would be a 1-to-1, right? You enter at the close of the candle, your stop is right below it, and then you target 1-to-1. So we would be in this trade at this moment in time right now. But there needs to be a bit more work done to it. I mean, that is actually, yeah, I would say that is a hammerfoot. That is quite a good hammerfoot, that is. That, not really. I think that's quite balanced, right? Because you got heavy buyers, pretty heavy sellers, heavy buyers, heavy sellers. Yeah, the candle's a hammer, but the volume distribution I wouldn't say is a legit hammer foot. Oops, shit, what have I done? Again, this, yeah, I would actually say that's kind of a hammer foot. But if the next stage, I think, would be sort out a bit of the volume distribution so it understand. Oh, it's given us a hammer foot right there. Oh, it just got out because of those sellers at the top there. It just cancelled it. Almost closed as a hammer foot. But I think the next stage in the process of it, because I just literally tested it. I didn't think it would actually build anything useful, Chat GPT, but first time, like, I literally just explained what I'm looking for, and I showed like a screenshot of a candle that I do want it, what it should be looking out for, and then it just built this. So, but I think the next stage is try and tweak it, get the volume distribution to be correct perfectly, and have kind of hard rules about how the candle should be, etc., etc., and then also implement it basically support and resistance. I think maybe, and then it will give us a bit less, maybe not so many signals, because it's giving us a lot of signals, and if you go through all of them, like, is that a hammer foot? I guess kind of, but it's just very little buyers. But I can see why it triggered that as a hammer foot. The next one, yeah, I could kind of see as a hammer foot, but I think also where the signal occurs is quite important. Obviously, pre-market, it's not going to be as great. We're not. I mean, like that, I would definitely not call that a hammer foot. There's barely a wick there. I wouldn't really call that a hammer foot. That is a bit better. It's just, I mean, I guess pre-market, the volume is quite low, so fair play. That I would not call a hammer foot. So it needs tweaking, basically. It's not, but I'm impressed how good ChatGPT built that, because it built it in I didn't even ask, there was no errors, it compiled it perfectly, everything just, wow. And it can read the order flow data now, which is so cool. Please send that to me. I will code it for NinjaTrader. Absolutely, SPTick. I'll send that over to you. Let me get it really like spot on, and then I'll like, let me make some tweaks to it, and then I'll send you like the finished version, and then along with the code, and then you can make it. I can test it after coding it in C#. Amazing. Mine also needs tweaking. I was thinking about getting the indicators give us a grading, maybe like a B, C. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, put them into brackets, of how good they are. Also, if you can grade the hammer foot, might help. Like, say, if volume distribution at wick is greater, A plus hammer foot. Yeah, I actually quite like the grading idea. If you need help, let me know. I use Claude, much better for coding than ChatGPT. Happy to help. Amazing. Yeah, contact me on Instagram or send me an email. Anyone who's willing to kind of jump in and get this thing made, because then ideally what we want to do at the end is what's the word? Have it automated, because it is one of these things, like, it's going to need to be automated to really trade. It has to be an EA, and then we can automate it with some kind of copier. It can use it on TradingView, and then every time a signal occurs, it can copy over to other platforms to where your broker is or whatever, and it can boom, 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 kind of do like a quick copy trade type thing. That would be awesome. So we haven't yet got to their take profit. I'm going to bump this up to 8. See, 8 doesn't look that good right now to me. The size of each candle is a little bit off. Not off, but it's in that weird in-between. Claude is great. I've never really used Claude. I need to try it out, to be fair. But I'm so impressed, man, that it built that. To be fair, I mean, it added a bunch of settings so ticks per footprint row. That's basically imbalance. I mean, I never asked for an imbalance. Value area. I don't see the point in having a value area. I mean, I never asked for that. Top rows to scan. Oh, okay. Top rows to scan. So it's only scanning right now. Well, you see, that's the problem, because it's only going to scan the 2 top rows and the 2 bottom rows, and ignore whatever's in the middle if the candle's quite big. But if I make this bigger, if the candle is small, it might not be 4 or 5 rows. Do you see what I mean? So this has to definitely be changed. Top rows and bottom rows. That doesn't make any sense. It's gotta just split it kind of 50-50, the candle, and then anything above the 50% mark, if that's buyers, and anything below is sellers, then rather than scan it row for row, and then actually look at the volume data. My God, what's going on? We're dropping. We are dropping. Top zone, buy, sell, minimum, so maximum small wick percent of range. Minimum body percent of range. Right, so this is literally how the candle should look. Okay. Top. I mean, there's a lot of, I'll have to figure out what it's actually trying to build here. Let's have a look. Sorry, my wife called. That's all right, Eric. Coach, I passed 3 evals and 1 payout in a week. That's amazing, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. My bot just went short ES at 6804.50. Target is 6775. Nice. I'll be interested. Actually, I think you explained a bit about your bot in the email. I recently used Google's AI suite to create an entire website for a clinic. Took under an hour, fully functional, amazing. That's insane, man. AI is scary, but also so amazing. For the ICT people, we have a lot of fair value gaps below us to fill. Don't advertise your non-trading skills, spots up on non-traders. You're just a spectator. You don't know how to trade. Give your requirement and I will code it for you. Thank you, Vom. I think with yeah, Eric, I know you hate bots, but look, I mean, look, it's good to use sometimes in conjunction with oh my god, look at this sell-off. Oh, it's printed a so we gotta understand, is this a I mean, I guess it kind of is. Yeah, most of the buy pressures and the I don't like that 87, but it's a hammer. I would say that's kind of a hammer foot. I would say that is somewhat a hammer foot, to be fair. I mean, look, bots aren't terrible, right? But I would say, like, there's nothing wrong with using a bot if you know how to trade manually and you want to kind of make your job a little bit easier. There's nothing wrong with that, I think. If you don't know how to trade manually and you don't really know how to trade, but you're just kind of hoping a bot will make you money automatically, print money and all that. Yeah, I can understand that's, you gotta actually understand what the hell the bot is doing, um because then you can pick and choose, there'll be a lot of trades where, it'll give you a signal and you'll say, well, actually I might not want to take that because of XYZ or whatever. You can use your manual kind of reasoning, your brain to filter out what is good or bad rather than just blindlessly kind of, trusting a bot. But all right, we're back into this little gap area here. That area's kind of moved a little bit. I might want to just make it a little bit. I Let's see if those buyers got stopped out. Essentially, this is the next question. I'm gonna just get rid of the indicator for now, just because I want to see. All right, a lot of stops will be up there, right? I mean, sorry, down there. And yeah, we got to. You can see sellers, sorry, sellers, buyers, getting stopped out right here, but not all of them. And we know these are fresh buyers kind of failing to push it up. These are going to be a lot of sellers, real sellers. I'm still going to be a bit more bullish because we're in that gap again. It looks like a retest. It might just want to come back up. So I don't think it's a legit move just yet. But let's see. Because look, we had fresh sellers come in here. These are the vulnerable people now. These sellers here. I think they might get squeezed out and we're potentially. Oops, shit, what have I done? Where's my pen? There it is. Here it is. So, their stops are probably going to be around here somewhere. A lot of these sellers, but I think they might get squeezed out potentially. Look, they're coming in again, a lot of sellers. Again, these guys are vulnerable. These are real buyers as well. They're vulnerable too. This is where the battle is right now. Sellers are ZT Content. Good to see you. Sellers are working this. Alameen, good to see you as well. I know you messaged earlier. I don't think I said hello though. That's how I always felt like it's cheating, but maybe I just don't understand it completely. I can see where it would be an advantage on 20 accounts copy trading it. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I just made 32p and moved my stop loss to break even. Yeah, I'm starting to see. Look, sellers are potentially failing here. I might go in. Shit. Let me go. Pen tool. Get away. I'm going to go in for maybe a buy here. Let's see if we can get back up to those highs. I'm not fully convinced those sellers are, the buyers are finished yet. But really, we kind of, I mean, I don't want to get much further below than here. But I can still see sellers coming in, fresh sellers. So let me just set a stop. I mean, really, your stop should be, below here. But I feel if sellers come in too heavy and break it really below and let out those potentially trapped sellers. So really kind of below there, I think I'll be wrong. So I'm gonna have a bit of a tighter stop. I'm seeing these bastards right now coming in heavy, and they taking back control again. For a moment there, they looked like they were getting trapped down here. We don't really want to get much more below than that 303. If the buyers can't squeeze out, because these guys are very heavy as well in the market, if we can squeeze them out, this is good. If we can get above those sellers and see them, actually exit on the footprint, that would be good. But again, they're coming in, sellers. They're fighting. And we don't really want to get much below these buys. These are the only people right now on our side, right? We don't want them to fail. If they fail, not gonna be good. So we want those buyers to stick, essentially. But it looks like, I'm just gonna draw a line there. Looks like they just couldn't get it much higher, to be honest. But give them another few seconds. They might come in, these buyers. Just got to get above, ideally, that black line there. I think there's going to be a lot of stops up there. Yeah, I think majority of stops are going to be around that black line of the people who just entered. Let's really quick read the comments. I apologize. I mean, no disrespect to anyone. I just have a negative feeling about bots if you can't trade, but I do see your point. No, it's absolutely fine. Everyone can have an opinion. And your opinion is totally valid, There is an argument to be made on both sides about it. Can you buy a Fredo with that? I don't think you can. They used to be like 10p. How much are they now? I can't imagine. Are you short or long? I am long right now, Daniel. I am long. Probably not for that much longer. Seeing these sellers are just overwhelming those buyers. I think my friends here, these little buyers, I mean, realistically, their stops are probably going to be there. I think we're also seeing, I think they're exiting here. A lot of these buyers, I think they're getting out the market, potentially. Yeah, I think they're out. They just couldn't, they didn't want to hold it, which is fine. My buyers failed. Good effort, though. Good effort from these buyers. Coach, have you ever set a pending just above your stop loss to go the opposite way, like you're short and you would set? I've never done that, Eric. Never ever done that. Probably a quid, but yeah, I'd say probably at least maybe a 50p to a pound Fredo now, which is insane. And there you go. There is any of these buyers, they've just been stopped out. Basically, same place where I had it. Well, a little bit just at that low, basically. They all got stopped out. All right, we wait for the next cycle. One of them's going to get squeezed out. And we're getting back to the open, believe it or not. I think a lot of the open buyers are out the market now. I can't imagine them holding much longer. I think the open, let me just look at the 15-minute distribution. It might give us a bit more clarity. Zoom in. Where are we? So where's the open candle? All the buyers came in, boom, 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 boom. And yeah, a lot of the buyers got out the market around here from the open. You can see the volume spike there. There's obviously going to be a few people holding still or whatever, which are probably going to get squeezed out now. So the squeeze did happen. It just happened a bit higher up. I thought, they're going to get to their take profit at least, and then potentially a squeeze happen. But unfortunately not. We got a little bit originally. We had the right idea at the beginning, but they Yeah, the squeeze kind of happened a bit later, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. Now we can find the next area of interest. Well, let's find the next area. There's a bunch, to be fair. I mean, there's a little one here. Yeah, all the buyers are out the market now. They're all being squeezed out. Let me just make that a bit bigger. There we go. They're so cool to see quid and all that. I'm used to. Oh, okay. I'm used to dollars. So focus on one trade. Only great. Thank you. I was always wondering if that's a bad idea. It might look. I've never tested it, Eric. So shit. Is my internet down? Am I still live? I am still live. Oh, cool. Damn. Because every time the connection used to drop, it used to cut out the whole stream. And I was like, oh, so they fixed it then. YouTube has fixed that. Because before, whenever there was the slightest interruption in your connection, it would never reconnect to the stream. Oh, I'm so happy. I was getting a bit worried that I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to redo the whole stream now. Okay, well that was good. Damn. Or maybe it didn't actually truly disconnect. I don't know. But my internet, I mean, it seems okay. Who knows? Anyway, back to the questions or to the chat. I'm seeing a big difference between ES future and CFD on my broker, kind of 6, 7, 8, 9 ES. Yeah, that's completely. But you will never really see like a change in the actual candle. So, like, there might be a slight difference. I'm talking, millimeters, like really slight difference. But you will never see kind of like imagine, we're bearish now. You'll never see like a bullish candle or something on the CFD version. Like it will always be pretty much identical, the market.